Hello friends and welcome. Okay, so last time we summarized the 73 Gravely C8 here, and we put the brush hog mulcher on. Okay, so in that last video I asked for comments about the mulcher fender here, because when it's down on the ground, this is like almost touching the ground. And I had a few commenters tell me that this should be on the back of the tractor. It's good news, but it's bad news. But I had a very hard time trying to put this on because it doesn't flex at all. So I had a hard time catching the bolts on it. We also changed the rear fender here, which wasn't really a problem because it'll flex, then you can catch the bolts really easy. So my intentions today are, instead of taking this mulcher fender off and putting it on the back, I want to try to reverse the gearbox on here. Okay. Alright, so if we reverse the gearbox and this is on the front, it's still too low here. So let me show you on the brush hog on the tractor that we're selling here. You can see that you got plenty of space here. So if you're mulching leaves, the leaves will go under the front fender here. Okay, so we switched fenders last time because this one was on the one we're working on there, and it was all bent up pretty bad. Okay, so this is pretty wide too, so this will be too much towards the ground also. So what I'm thinking of doing with this one is, I just want to take a measurement on the other tractor that we're selling there. I want to take a measurement and just cut. Since this thing is bent up, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Once I cut this out, I might be able to straighten it out good enough to fit it back on the tractor here. So what we're gonna have to do here is I'm gonna have to take the blades off. Just 3 bolts and 1 stud with a nut. Last time I didn't realize that. I took the nut off and the 3 bolts, and the whole gearbox came apart here, which is good in a way because there was water in this gearbox and we were able to clean the gearbox out really well. So I'm hoping if I leave the nut on the stud there and take the other 3 bolts out, that we could take the gearbox off. So what I'm going to do so far is I'll get set up. We're going to take the blades off. We don't have to take any of the spacers off here. It should clear the top of the deck. I don't know how stuck the gearbox is to the deck. I don't know if anything else has to be taken off besides the 3 bolts and the nuts. I'm not really sure about that. So once I'm going to loosen the 3 bolts and see if I can get the deck to move a little bit. Then I'll put the deck back down and we'll remove the deck from the tractor so we can work on it, and it'll be easier. I'll turn the deck upside down, take this rear fender off here, and in the meantime I'll probably cut that other one to fit once this is turned around and it's towards the front. And I don't know, we'll just see what happens here. But I'm thinking, since I had such a hard time with this, it would be much easier to just reverse, turn the deck around and reverse the gearbox. Okay, so I'm just putting my gloves on. I want to thank all you commenters, all the viewers that left a comment about the mulcher fender being on backwards. I want to thank you all. I also want to thank all the subscribers and viewers for watching. I'm getting pretty close to 1,600 subscribers, so I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. Alright, so without knocking the camera over, the tripod over, I'm going to go ahead and we'll take the blades off. These are the spacers that I'm talking about. I think there's two more on here, and that's so you can adjust the blade height. Try to keep the blade as close as I can to the ground when we cut. And also, you gotta make sure the blades fit on the shaft too, in the meantime. Okay, so this is the big washer here that we use to crisscross the blades. I'm pretty sure it's in view, you could see it. Okay, so I'm hoping that, I know that these spacers will clear the top of the deck here. As I noticed last time when we took it apart, when I serviced the gearbox, I was noticing that that bottom part of the gearbox is stuck on here pretty good. So I got a hammer and a chisel. I just want to loosen the 3 bolts here and see if we can get that to move a little bit. We're using 9/16 socket because these are 3/8 bolts. After we worked on this the last time, I had a thought about this having one of the, this has a stud and a nut instead of 4 bolts on it. And I was thinking, I do most of my thinking during the night when I'm sleeping. I woke up and I thought about it. I said, well, the stud and the nut might be so it'll hold the gearbox together and the whole thing will pull out with the nut on there, holding the gearbox together. See, this is still pretty. I don't want to keep these all the way out. Alright, so the next thing I'll do is I'm going to put the deck down. I remove the brush hog from the tractor and I'll put it up on jack stands and we'll see if we can tap the gearbox loose from the top of the deck there and see where we stand. So we gotta hope for the best here. I'm just taking my glove off so I can shut the camera off, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. The nut on that stud won't pass through, but I was able to get the gearbox to move around. So what I did was, as you could see, I put the coffee can down there, and I drained out most of the oil. What I'll do is I'll just screw the plug in real quick and I'll take that nut off. I will just try to drop the gearbox out from the bottom here. Try. And we'll see if we can turn it around. This is still easier than trying to get that mulcher fender back on. I'll tell you that right now. I spent a long time trying to get the bolts caught in that. So I don't feel too bad about doing it this way, providing that the gearbox fits on the other way, which I don't see any problem with that. So what I'll do right now is I'll just lift this up a little bit. I'll stick the plug back in, and I'll take that nut off. This still looks watery. If you guys remember, whoever follows the channel, that there was a lot of water in the gearbox. But I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, so the whole thing split apart again, but whatever. Doesn't matter. This thing's still stuck in here? No, not really. I know, I could probably just turn the top part around, but I want to clean this up anyway. Alrighty. Now I gotta find the rag. I would put some new gear lube in there, but I don't think I have enough. What the heck did I do with the rag now? I'll just get another one. So you thought it was going to be easy, huh? Nah, not around here. Never easy around here. This hole almost fits through, but not quite. I could drill this out a little bit, put the nut and the stud back in with a washer. I could do that to make things easier. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Alright, I'm going to get this all in position here. And then I'll bring you back. Might have to do a little cleaning to get that to sit down on the deck right. So I'll give you a quick update. I got the other spacers. Well, the one spacer was pretty stuck on there, so I took that off. This spacer here has a key in it, and I don't know, I took it off. It comes off hard. I guess it's supposed to. I think the seal, I should have looked. I didn't even look to see if the seal is in here. But that's not leaking, so we're not going to worry about that. Anyway, clean this up really good so everything slides on and off easy. I cleaned this all up here. I cleaned this all up over here where it mates to the deck. I got the deck upside down, of course. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to drill one of these holes out so that the nut will clear through it. And then once I bolt it up, I'll take this whole thing out, this whole stud and nut out, and I'll put a washer on there and tighten that up. And I took that guard that was all bent up. I just taped it off. So this goes all the way to the ground. We don't want that. So I'm taking about, I don't know, about 3 inches off it here. And I figure while I have the deck off and apart, it's really easy. I took the good one off. I took it off, put that away. So we're done with that. And after I get done cutting that guard off, the fender off, you know, the piece off the fender, then I'll bolt that back on, and then I'll set the gearbox in. I just have to pick a hole where I'm going to drill it out bigger so that nut clears it. This way I can put the unit together. Once I put the unit together, before we put it on, I'll put that nut and stud in there, and then I'll put a couple of bolts in there just to line it up, and then I'll tighten that nut up real good so the gearbox stays together. And then I'll take, oh no, and then I'll leave that in there, the nut and the stud, and then we'll set it on here and we'll take it from there. I hope you understood what I said. Okay, so I got the front fender cut here and I bolted it on. And we're all ready to put the gearbox back on. I don't know what kind of a pain it's going to be. I just put this down here. This is all cleaned up, so it'll fit really good. Just want to make sure the holes are lined up good there. Let's see something here. I think that should be all right. So I wipe this off a little bit more. Once I clean this all up, it fit back down here good. I have some new fluid, so I might just put some new fluid in there. I don't have much left, but if it's not enough, I'll just add some of what we took out of here, because it's still, it'll probably take 3 or 4 oil changes, gear oil changes, to get it clean again. So I don't know what kind of a pain this is going to be. Okay, so we have 2 shims here that have to go on here too. I told you before I was going to drill the deck out so that stud and nut would fit and clamp the two pieces together of the gearbox and then tighten it up and then set it on here. I can't drill a hole big enough in here to do that because there's not much meat between the bolt and the inner part there, so I just stopped. I didn't go ahead and do that. I'm probably going to have to lay down to get the gearbox on. Not going to be easy, but we'll give it a try. There's still some fluid in here. I'm going to try to dump it out into the coffee can here. Should have did that before. I didn't think to do that before. Alright, so it's going to be a mess either way. So this is heavy and it's awkward. But we'll do the best we can here. I should have got a block of wood or something to hold this up. Maybe I'll do that. Every little bit will help. I don't know, let me try to get a bolt in there. I don't know. See if I can get another bolt in there. Oh. Let me make sure we're lined up pretty good. Keys in my pocket. I guess we're okay so far. Since I'm alone, I figured put it on the milk crates. Because if I put it on an angle, I'll have a real hard time struggling trying to get the gearbox back in. So I figured this is the easier way to do it. I was gonna say it's working out pretty good, but I shouldn't say anything right now. I'm putting the third bolt in. That stud with the nut, I put a washer on it because it didn't have any washer. Well, I don't know what's up with this stud and the nut. I'm going to try to find a bolt and stick a bolt in there. I'm just going to shut you off for now. I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay, so I found a good 3/8 bolt. Sorry it took up so much time doing that. So I bolted it in. That's the best way to do it, the way I just did it here. Because when you're by yourself, you have to figure out different ways to do stuff so you don't kill yourself. So had I put this on an angle or something, or mounted it, well, you couldn't mount it back to the tractor, but if I used the jack stands and put it on an angle, I would have been fighting and wrestling with that. This way we just laid everything down in there and we were able to bolt it up. So, okay, so you've seen me put blades on, you've seen me put the mower deck on the tractor. I'm going to put everything together. I'm going to mount the deck right back on the tractor again, tilt it, put the spacers on, the blades on, fill it with fluid. There's a little bit of grass out in the field. I guess it was a week ago when we did it last. I know I just put that video up Thursday and today's Friday, but it's been maybe over a week. I'm not really sure, but there's a little bit back there. I just want to see how this works. So I tried to mimic the thickness of this. I think I even went a little bit shorter. The more stuff you can suck up here, the better. These machines are dangerous anyway. There's no question about that, you know. You really don't want to have anybody around when you're using these. So, and then we'll see how the mulcher part works back there. And I'm glad that I did it this way because then I could service everything real good underneath to clean off the shaft so the spacers slide on and off real easy, and clean up. I cleaned everything up, so it seems to be all right. So I'll see you probably out in the field. Well, let's give it a try and see what happens here. gonna go out to the front house and pick up a few sticks. So maybe we'll try it out there some, because there's really nothing to cut here. I can't tell what's going on. I like to let this get to be about, I don't know, 10 inches tall, maybe we'll let it get to, but that's going to take a couple of months probably. But let me go out front and see what's going on out there, and I'll be right back. I had to delete the last segment of the video when we went out front to mow. For some reason the camera started drooping down and it was out of view. But since then we're back in the field here. It's the next day. What I did was I lowered the blades all the way down as far as I could lower them down. And we're going to try it this way for now. And let's see what happens here. It's probably going to hit every little thing down on the ground, but let's see how it does anyway. I just want to make sure this camera don't start drooping down again. I don't know why that happened, how that happened, I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about with camera equipment and filming and yeah, that's cutting really low. I hope it filmed good. This thing keeps on falling down. I don't know why. But it leaves clumps when I back up. And I'm just going to go around again. If I go forward, it doesn't leave any clumps, but I don't know if we're going to leave that like that. That's cutting pretty low there. So hopefully this segment of video came out all right this time. We're all ready to do the 1957 Gravely LI restoration, and we got to find out where that oil leak is on it. So I pretty much got everything all set up for that. I got my truck set up so we could put the parts in the work truck here. And I hope you got something out of this, or at least you enjoyed it. And I'm going to go review this segment now and see how this came out, because it looks to me like this camera fell again, or maybe not. I don't know. I'll soon find out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the next one, and take care.